It's not for you. It's for them. Let's talk about the invisible weight that's on everybody's shoulders nowadays. Let's talk about it. It's debt. Debt makes everybody feel stuck, right? You're stuck on a treadmill. You're on the hamster wheel, and you're trying to cover your debt. You're trying to save for your future, for your family right now. You're trying to figure out how to put your kids in college. You want to get your mortgage paid off at some point so you can retire and live a sensible life and have a little fun and don't work until the day you pass away, right? That's the goal for most people. You simple. Get your bills under control, pay off your mortgage, get your kids into college. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get their kids through college. Get your bills paid off and have a decent retirement where you can live and maintain your lifestyle, what you used to, what your family's used to. So let's talk about that. So how many of you are completely underwater right now? You don't even have a strategy or a plan to get out of it. I know there's I know sometimes debt can be just it can just be overpowering. It can be exhausting. It burns through you. The anxiety of it all just it can be too much to where you're overwhelmed and you're tired. Sometimes you're just tired, right? You need a break. Well, guess what? There is a strategy and a tool that you can use for you and your family to become your own bank, to become your own private bank. I know a lot of people say it. You probably hear it all over the internet. Be your own bank, be your own bank. Well, how? Well, simply stated, you can become your own bank through life insurance, through having life insurance. You have a whole life policy, okay, participating whole life policy with paid up additions. So you would have to fund that policy by making your premiums. That's how you start. You fund your policy, you make premiums, and you begin month to month making your payments. Okay. There are living benefits that come along with it. You also get a death benefit that comes with having um, life insurance, and it's a whole life cash value insurance policy. Okay. There's more benefits. It creates tax advantage, tax deferred income for you in your retirement. So what does that mean? How does that work? Well, after your cash value has built up over a certain amount of years, you can take a withdrawal as a loan against your policy. Now, loans are not considered income because it's something you have to pay back. So, um, it's something you have to pay back. So, it's not considered income. So, it's tax deferred. You can make an appointment by clicking on the link below the screen there to book your consultation. You can do that today. You can do it right now, and we'll be happy to help you out and talk to you about how to become your own bank and how to save money, get out of debt through life insurance. It's an amazing tool. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's all that, a bag of chips with the popcorn and the soda for free. That's what it is. If you need to know, that's the description I can give you. Um, a lot of people are taking advantage of it. I've been helping a lot of clients that some of them don't even have a lot of debt. They just simply want to save for themselves and save money and without having to go to a bank later for a loan. When you become your own bank and you start to save your money on your own, the interest compounds. You don't have to go to a bank and worry about what your credit score is. You don't have to go to a bank and worry about how to qualify for this loan and produce pay stubs and have to show your proof of income, any of that. You are your own financial institution, you and your family. You can have more than one policy. You're my biggest fan. Okay. Well, I'm your biggest fan. Let's book you an appointment so you can become my favorite client. So let's uh let's talk about who infinite banking is for. It's for all families who are looking for a debt to wealth strategy, for a debt to wealth system, program, strategy, tool, whatever you might want to call it. That's what it's for. Okay, it's for young families, mature families, seasoned families. It's for everyone. Okay, it's not for rich people. You don't have to have a certain amount of income. You don't have to. The coolest insurance guy. Well, thank you, thank you. Handsome too, right? Got to put that in there. So you don't have to qualify financially, but you do have to qualify medically. So there is an exam. They're going to take your weight. They're going to take your for people that are over age 60. They're going to draw your blood, urine, and take your weight and height, things like that. But there's no financial qualification. As long as you are realistic with your payments, and as long as you are able to consistently make those payments, then you're fine. You can get started as soon as today. You can get the process started as soon as today. Okay. It's also for investors, high money earners. It's for you too. People with idle cash, not knowing what to do with their cash. I had a client call me today. We're going to get him set up later in the week. He has a savings account. He wants to he had a savings account. He's going to open up his infinite banking and to get some bills paid off, credit cards, car notes, things like that. And also he wants to roll over some of his money that he had sitting in a 401k with the union. He worked for the union for a lot of years. So he's gonna put that in there. You don't have to front load or top load your policy. He's just doing it so that his money's not sitting idle. And I'm saying this for all my high earners. If you have money, all my real estate agents, luxury agents, high earners, investors, business owners, it's a good way to earn interest on your money and pay yourself back the interest and take the money out of the bank's hands and put it back in your hands, in your pocket, your family's pockets. There are many perks to becoming your own infinite bank. For one thing, you can borrow from yourself. You don't have to go to the bank and go through the whole process of applying for a loan. You can fund your life's opportunities like college tuition, wedding plans for your children, tax deferred, tax free retirement is a big plus. Okay, and you get guarantees on your compounding, on your interest. It's not a guaranteed interest, but you get guarantees on your interest. So basically, and how that works is because your policy is not tied to a particular stock. It is indexed to the stock market, but it's not tied to a particular stock. So you have protection. Say you have a 401k and you are invested in your 401k and the market takes a big dump. Guess what? Guess what your money does too? Your money takes a big dump. For a lack of better choice of words, that's what happens. Your money takes a big dump, you lose. But when you're invested in your own banking system, your own private banking for you and your family, your money doesn't take a dump. And when you withdraw a loan against your policy, guess what? It keeps compounding at the rate that it was at when you took the loan. If you take from a 401k, it's now compounding at the rate that you reduced it to. So that's also one of the perks. Also, you get a death benefit. That means if something happens to you and you pass away before you get all your debt paid and before you get to the status of actually being debt-free life, then you get a death benefit. It'll pay out to your family minus any outstanding loans. So minus any outstanding loans that you've borrowed against your policy, then it'll pay out a death benefit to your spouse, to your kids, to your mama, your grandmama, whoever you have as your beneficiaries. Guess what? They'll get the death benefit and it'll pay out to them. So those are all the perks of having of becoming your own bank. And like I said, it's easy to start. You do have to qualify medically. There is no top loading. There's no financial qualification. You just have to be consistent in making your payments. Be consistent in have some discipline. Don't overborrow against your loan. And I'm going to tell you who this is not for. Having your own strategy, financial strategy for your family is not for a person looking for a get rich quick solution. Okay? It's not for them, it's not for you. Okay? It's for the person with discipline. It's for the person who's going to be consistent and make those premiums and be realistic when they pick a premium for their family and for their banking system. That's what it's for. Okay? We recommend 6 to 18 months. That's what we recommend. We recommend 6 to 18 months for you to allow your cash for your interest and cash accumulation to grow. Let your liquidity grow, and then you can borrow against it. Sometimes, depending on how much you're putting in, a lot of people within 2-3 months are already ready to start paying off their first debt. And my team will help you step by step with the process. Okay, we'll hold your hand and help you step by step with the process. We'll help you set it up. We'll come up with a budget for you. We help you find the leaks in your budget and all the lazy money and all the money that you're spending on things that maybe can be adjusted. You know, and the big way this works is when people make overpayments on their debt. Like we all make overpayments on our credit cards. I know I do. If I use a credit card, I try to pay it completely off for the month. But we all make overpayments, right? So it's for the people who make overpayments on their debt. Like say your mortgage, it doesn't have to be a lot. You might pay an extra $75 to $100 a month on your mortgage, just trying to knock it down faster. You might pay an extra out of all your credit cards total. You might only pay an extra $150, $200 on them for the month. So what we do is we redirect that money into your bank. We redirect your money the overpayments into your bank. You keep making your minimum payments on all your credit cards and whatever debt you have, but we redirect all the overpayments, your car note, credit cards, mortgage, and we put that into your whole life policy. And at that point, your money's starting to compound, liquidity's growing, and you're starting to become your own bank. That's what this is all about, right? You're starting to become your own bank. So it's a very, very important and very crucial tool financially to help families get out of debt and get out of stress. You know, because I mean, stress is like an invisible, silent killer, right? Debt, all the different things that hold us back is debt. Like debt keeps you slaving. Debt keeps you tied to your cubicle, like chained to your cubicle, and debt keeps you allowing your boss to not appreciate you and not respect you. You know, that's what debt does. And we're all a slave to debt and making money. And that seems like to be the system here. But with infinite banking, you can break that. You can break those chains. You can break all that generational curse that's been holding everybody back. I don't like to say curse. It's really generational ignorance. And I don't mean ignorance in a bad way. It just means information that you're not privy to, right? So that's really what it is. Not a curse. It's just a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know. Some of the richest people we know, like Warren Buffett, Walt Disney, Walt Disney funded Disneyland, Disney World off of infinite banking. Infinite banking. Now, the debt-free life is kind of a new concept. It's not brand new, but infinite banking has been around for probably close to 100 years. It's not new, okay? But debt-free life is tied in with infinite banking. It's something proprietary that my team has created. that we have our own proprietary software, and we're able to help you go through your budget and use your own infinite bank to become debt free. So they both work hand in hand. There's the infinite banking concept, then there's the debt free life concept. And yes, you can take money out whenever you need it. That's the whole plan. You just have to wait when you first start to make your deposits. Your money is not clear for it takes about 3 to 5 days. But if you do need money, don't wait till the day before you need money. Start the process about 3 to 5 days is what we like to say. Something it could take up to 7 days to pull your money out the whole process. But you can take money out via loans. It's not a withdrawal. You're gonna want to take a loan against your policy so you're not taxed. So you're not taxed, okay? Because when you take a loan, then it's tax deferred. Answer your question. Well, what's the question? I see two questions here. It says, "Can I take money out whenever I need?" Absolutely, you can take money out. We don't recommend you over borrowing, but once you've built up your cash value, you can take loans for whatever you need. We don't like you to over borrow, okay? And it's you're becoming the bank. You're borrowing money from your policy, the insurer who's insuring you, okay? So those are the two questions. If you have any other questions, um, would you yeah, so those are the questions. And yes, you can still go to Disneyland. That has nothing to do with infinite banking. I just said Walt Disney used it. He used the infinite banking concept to fund some of his dreams. Okay, so yes, you'll still be able to go to Disneyland. Okay, we all like to go to Disneyland. So yeah, if you want to book a consultation, uh, hit the link. It's just dropped in the chat, or it's scrolling down here at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Um, so infinite banking. Again, let's talk about it. Who is it for? Let's talk about who it's for again. Okay. It is for all families. Okay. It's for all families who want to get away and escape debt, who want to get off the debt treadmill or the debt stress hamster wheel. Okay. And they would actually like a real debt to wealth system, a real strategy, a real plan. It's I can only imagine having the stress of debt and bills and not even having a plan to figure it out. It just I could only imagine how hard that could be, right? But if there was a way, if there was a way that you could be out of debt instead of 30 years, 9 years or less, how amazing would that be? Especially to my older people who are 50 plus like me. Imagine taking 20, 30 years away from debt and knocking it out in 8, 9 years. Imagine that. Imagine retiring with no bills to pay. How would that feel? How would a completely tax-free retirement, how would that make you feel? How would that be? What would you do? That's a good question. What would you do if you woke up and you were retired and you had no mortgage, you had no car notes, no credit cards, no college loans to pay back, nothing to pay? What would you do? I'm going to ask the chat, whoever's in the chat and wants the answer. What would you do? Imagine life with no bills. And imagine the security on top of having no bills. Imagine the security of of for your family finances to be future proof through the whole life policy. So you would don't forget you still get a death benefit too if untimely passing because it's still life insurance. You're setting up a whole life insurance policy for yourself. And then also for that policy, there's also living benefits that come along with it for critical illness, injury, different things. They you you also get that as well. You have a good savings, or you said you'd have a good savings. That's good. If you have a good savings, maybe you want to roll it over into your infinite banking so it can compound for you. Because if it's sitting in the bank, at best you're getting 0.02 or 0.01% interest, which is nothing at the end of the year. But yeah, so those are the things I like to paint pictures for people when I'm talking. What would you do? Imagine, like, what would life be like, and you're able to retire and you're in your 60s and you got nothing to pay for besides just your food, and you're buying all your time back, and it never cost you more money than you were spending already. That's the key that a lot of people miss. You're not spending any more than what you're already spending every day to live. We're just taking money from here and putting it over here, basically. So we use your overpayments that you make on all your credit cards, all your bills, and we move it from here and put it into your own bank. And it doesn't take a lot for the compounding to start and for you to see results. It really doesn't. It's pretty quick. You know, it could be 6 months to a year. Sometimes, like I said, depending on how much you use, it could be within a few months, depending on how much you deposit. I'm sorry, monthly, whatever your premium is. It could be within a few months that you're already ready to pay off some of your first debt. You know, like credit cards. We'll look at my team will look at your situation, your budget, and we will set you up with a plan. We'll run the numbers, and we'll set you up with a plan that fits your budget. Okay, and we go from there. And there's two methods that are very popular. There's the snowball method and the avalanche method. Okay, briefly, I'm going to describe it because that's a whole other video to talk about those two. But the snowball effect, you're in a lot of debt. Do you make overpayments on your really bad? Do you make overpayments on your any of your credit cards or car notes or anything like that? Because if you do, then this is the program for you. We can get you out of debt depending on how much debt you have. If you have a mortgage and car notes and credit cards, we can cut it from 30 years to way less than half, maybe 9-10 years. So it's a real program. It works. When you say really bad, what's the number? Put a number drop a number in the chat. How much? How much? We're numbers people. We like to talk numbers. So, or we can talk about it on a consultation if you're not comfortable putting that in the chat. But so how does it work? What's the basic 4 steps of infinite banking? Let's talk about the basic 4 steps. Okay. 1, you got to fund your policy. Okay. You have to fund it. That means meet with my team. Okay. We set you up. Oh, 30,000 is not a lot of debt. We can clear that up for you really fast. But so because of school, okay. Well, we work with all types of debt. Okay, we'll knock out your school loans. We can knock out any credit card debt you've accumulated. We can if you have car notes, all those things, we can help you. Grab the link. It's been dropped in the chat, or grab it at the bottom of the screen and book your consultation. So how does it work? Again, fund your policy. Okay. Number 2, grow your cash value, grow your liquidity. Okay. Number 3, borrow against it. Number 4, repay yourself. Excuse me. And then rinse and repeat. Do it all over again for all your debt until you're completely debt free. That's how that's going to work. That's usually not usually, that is the plan. That's the steps. So you're gonna rinse and repeat. So fund it, grow it, borrow against it, repay yourself, rinse and repeat. Okay, and you repay at your schedule. And it's not even qualified that you exactly have to pay it back. What happens is it just whatever you borrow comes out of the death benefit for your family. So you don't necessarily have to pay it back. You just keep making your payments into your uh, infinite bank, and the money keeps compounding at whatever. If you had 100 grand in there when you took out 20, it's going to keep compounding at what you were at, 100, not 80. So that's the unique benefit of infinite banking. It is a wonderful tool, a wonderful strategy for for all people, for all people who fit and want to who fit the scenarios or fit within the parameters of the infinite banking. Again, it's not for people who want to get rich quick. It's not for the guy who wants to deposit 200 a month and then the next month I'm my own bank now. I want to start. I want $1 million loan. I'm my own bank. I don't have to qualify for it. It's not for that. Okay, it's for people who want constant, steady growth, compounding, and who want to get control of their finances, who are disciplined, and who can commit to being consistent to making whatever premium that you agree to when we write your policy for you and get you set up to become your own bank. That's who it's for. Those are the people who it's for. Okay. And why is it beneficial for most people? Well, because it gives you control of your money and it gives you access to your money. It gives you tax advantages with your own money, tax free income. Everybody likes to hear the word tax free, right? We all like tax free. I know I like to hear tax free. It makes me excited. I perk up in my chair. I get excited, like, yeah, tax free. I finally get a break, right? So you're borrowing your money, paying yourself back. You're still capturing that interest, and it's tax free. Like it's a win-win, no brainer, right? So we all love tax free, right? And also your system. You borrow against it, you repay yourself. There's no middleman. There's no except the insurer, the insurer, your carrier. Who's gonna help you. Who's gonna hold your policy? That's the only middleman, I guess. But you're still in control. You're borrowing from the insurer, which is your policy. Okay, so there's no loan application. There's no let me see your W-2. How much did you make last year? We're only going to qualify you for this much. No, it's your money. You can take what you need to fund new business opportunities. You can take what you need for life opportunities, life events, weddings, um, whatever, college tuition. Those are all considered, life opportunities. That's what I call them, life events. Business investments. If you're a business owner, you need new equipment. Even if you are running tight on your payroll and you need a quick loan to cover it, you can go to your infinite bank. You don't have to go to Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America and sit there and go through their whole process and bite your nails like, oh my God, are they gonna give me enough to cover this and that? If you have it in your infinite bank and you need it, then you can withdraw it. It's your money. It is your money. It is, and you repay yourself on your schedule, on your time. It's not like, oh my God, this it's gonna default and it's gonna go on your credit. None of that stuff. It's private. It's your own private institution. A lot of people don't really understand the importance of becoming your own bank and gaining control of your finances. Because let's face it, debt is a horrible roommate, right, guys? Debt is a horrible roommate. Debt eats up all your it eats up all your money. Debt is inflated, right? It eats up all your money, causes you stress, causes your credit score to go down. Okay, it does a lot of bad things. Debt is the worst roommate, and the best thing you can do is kick debt out of your family and kick debt out of your house and out of your life. Thus, taking your infinite banking and having a debt-free life. Okay, that's that's the importance of it. I can't stress the importance of it. I'm so happy I'm able to help so many people gain control of their life without spending a lot of money out their pocket, not any more money than they were already spending on their bills, just the overpayments. And that's the meat of it. It's a wonderful program. It's a tool and a strategy financially for your family. Okay, it's for disciplined people, consistent people, and those who really want to get out of debt and take control and take charge. It's not for get rich quick people. It's not for inconsistent and undisciplined people. And it's not for overnight success people. You can't, we recommend 6 to 18 months to let your money compound and grow. Now, it doesn't always take 6 to 18 months to start paying off your debts, but depending on how much debt you have and what you're trying to become your infinite bank for, what are you funding your bank for, depends on, how you use the money. And my team will definitely help you go through that, during the consultation. So if you would like to set up your consultation today, hit the link in the that's been scrolling the bottom of the screen. It's also been dropped in the chat. I look forward to talking to everyone who would like to learn more about becoming their own bank and even getting the process started. Again, hit the link in the description or actually at the bottom of the screen there and set up your consultation today. And remember, it's not for you, it's for them.